Hello, good afternoon and welcome to the marketplace. Coming up, Ghana Cedi expected to lose about 8.4% in value to the US dollar in the retail market this year. We'll discuss this forecast via IC Research. Also coming up this afternoon, implementation of VAT on motor insurance to be delayed as insurers open fresh negotiations with Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta on concerns. Plus, Quick Credit indicates it will no longer undertake house-to-house loan recovery.
I'm thrilled to announce that we have taken a decision to dissolve the house-to-house recovery department of the company and shall no longer be visiting clients for recovery ever again.
My name is Daryl. Kwawu. Thanks for being with us. Details coming up. And now, as we look at the currency market, we want to begin with that this afternoon. The Ghana Cedi is expected to lose about 8.4% in value to the US dollar in the retail market this year. That's according to IC Research. It foresees the mid-dollar rate to the Cedi at 13 cedis, 10 pesos to the dollar. There's more in this Business Desk report.
Expected depreciation of the Cedi will be far lower than the about 15% recorded last year. In 2024, IC Research experts improved fundamentals as a result of expected multilateral inflows and appropriate monetary stance. This will partly offset election-related and external debt restriction uncertainties. The Cedi enjoyed stability in December 2023, helped by the Bank of Ghana's monetary squeeze, the Cocoa Board syndicated loan, among others. Bloomberg neither classified the local currency in the best spot returns nor worst spot returns category in 2023. It rather pegged the unit at 11 cedis, 95 pesos to the American greenback on December 29, 2023, the last day of trading in 2023. However, the Forex Bureau sold the Cedi at 12 cedis, 18 pesos to $1 US.
Well, Kwawu Akokumsin is economic analyst with Data Bank Research. He joins us on Zoom. Good afternoon to you. Happy New Year, Kwawu. What do you make of the projection by IC Research? 8.4% loss in value against the dollar in the retail market. That's far lower than the about 15.2% recorded the previous year. Your analysis tilting in the same direction?
Good afternoon, Daryl, and Happy New Year as well. Looking at the report from IC Securities, I think we broadly also align with their sentiments there, as we feel the Cedi may still lose value this year. It will not lose as much as it has lost last year and also in 2022. And that's looking at the improving macroeconomic condition. Although it's still not the greatest condition, but at least and now it's a bit better than previously. And as such, we feel these developments should help out with general sentiments around the economy and support the Cedi in some regard throughout this year.
Yeah, just to be clear, so the less depreciation we are seeing this year has got to do with signs of economic recovery. Is that what it is?
Yeah, so like there are signs there in there. Yeah, some economic recovery figures, and primarily looking at how sharp our inflation dropped, how our fiscal numbers are generally in line, although that's mainly due to a reduction in interest payments, but generally they are in line. Looking at the external position as well, although it's not that great, but you'd see the Bank of Ghana still committing to building up these external buffers. So there are some signs of recovery in there. And also we can look at some other additive factors, right? Such as Ghana also getting access to the Cocoa syndicated loan and also improved earnings on, okay, not necessarily improved, but a wider trade surplus for this year as compared to for the previous year in 2023 as compared to the same comparative period in 2022. But I think generally economic recovery has some things in there, although there are also some other factors that will bolster the Cedi should help minimize the depreciation.
So what are the risks to the stability we have seen in the last few months?
Because I think the major risk to the stability we've seen in the past few months would be the delays in restructuring talks with both the external bilateral creditors and also the commercial creditors, because that's very important. The continuous delays would then delay the inflows or the availability of funding for our external or our gross international reserves. And that would be quite detrimental in the central bank's approach to smoothing any erratic changes as they committed to in the IMF deal. We can also look at how certain geopolitical tensions may influence commodity prices and its also influence on import bills. Although we are still seeing the geopolitical scene, it's a bit calmer now, but it hasn't really settled yet. So I think the card is also still out on that one. I think generally some of the risk we see are the delays in the restructuring deals and also possible pickups or heightened tensions in the geopolitical scenes.
Yeah, I was going to raise up the elections as well. What has been the trend over the years?
Yes, I think generally we see in the election periods, investors are quite apprehensive to come into the domestic markets due to the uncertainties related with these election activities. So that may also pose some risk factors also to the city's outlook. However, I think a very crucial situation here is that we still remain under the IMF deal, so that should at least soften the blow a bit on the uncertainty side. Investors may trust that as much as possible, and the austerity path induced by the IMF program or the limited fiscal policy from the IMF program may help in pulling up the city or may improve official numbers generally, and that should improve sentiment as well.
So how do we check abuses in the retail forex markets that could result in the depreciation of the local currency, especially this election year?
I think very crucially, the central bank has handled the licensing and also the regulation of retail forex bureaus, and they continue to sound alarms on individuals who continue to engage unlicensed retail forex bureau. So I think the continued regulation or tightened regulation on the retail side should help at least reduce the impact of the black market side. And generally, it's also on us, the citizens, to try as much as possible to go in with the more licensed retail forex bureaus from the central bank. So at least that makes it quite easier to manage the movements and also the speculative bits of the currency.
Yeah, and well, finally, how significantly would a good forex reserve help in keeping the city in check? What else can the central bank do to maintain the stability?
Okay, so on the FX reserve side, it's quite crucial indeed to have a very good FX buffer, because at least that makes you more resistant to external shocks, and shocks also obligating from financing from external debt as well. And now looking at it, it's quite crucial to have enough buffers so that at least the central bank can smoothing over any erratic movements in the currency, and can also intervene in the market as necessary to help stem the tide should the city meet some stormy seasons, if I should say. So as much as possible, it's quite crucial to build these sustainable reserves. And then additionally, the central bank, we've seen this seasonal cycle where typically we see inflows from syndicated loan or some other external source to really bolster reserves. I think the central bank has taken some steps on the Gold for Reserve program. We feel the central bank can scale it up a bit. And also, additionally, looking at the 2024 budget, and it was also included in the 2023 budget, where the government would leverage the development bank to target investments mainly in the agri value chain in a bit to advance up the value chain a bit. I feel the central bank can also, in consultation with the development bank and also other interested banks, as I think Nigeria does, on its reserve requirements and how that features into agricultural investments. The central bank can also leverage on the development bank to help invest more in the value chain advancements. With this, we would see more or higher receipts on our exports or higher export earnings, which should then feature favorably in our reserve buildup of our foreign exchange buildup. So I think the central bank can also leverage the involvement of the development bank and also other banking sector players to sustainably invest in value chain advancement and enhance foreign exchange receipts.
All right, Kwawu Kumsin, economic analyst with Data Bank Research. I appreciate your insights. Now, turning to other news, the application of value-added tax on motor insurance could be delayed further or possibly frozen for a while. That's even if the VAT amendment bill secures the required presidential assent for the Ghana Revenue Authority to start implementing the tax. George Afe has more.
Government sources have told Joy Business that the move has been influenced by concerns that applying this tax may come with some serious implications for the economy and inflation rate going forward. Insurance companies have already gone ahead to increase third-party premiums from January 1, 2024. This does not even include the 21.9% VAT that should be applied on non-life insurance businesses, products and services from this year. Therefore, applying this VAT on motor insurance could increase the cost of insurance and other related services, a move that may end up justifying calls by transport operators for an increase in fares. This may end up increasing the cost of living significantly, a development that the Finance Ministry is worried about. Joy Business is learning that the Ghana Revenue Authority could be asked to hold on for a while, even if the President signs the 5 new tax amendment bills. It's however not clear for now if the tax could be suspended. But insurance companies, on the other hand, say they will continue to make a strong case to the Finance Minister in their meetings on why this VAT should be suspended on insurance products. The Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Reverend Dr. Amishada Osama, has also maintained that implementation of these new tax bills will only go ahead when the necessary public education has been completed.
Now, custom officers at the Eastern Border Post are requesting more logistical support to reduce the influx of smugglers along the corridor. This follows a decision by neighboring Togo to decongest the ports, which has made the border post of Kwawu and adjoining areas prone to smuggled goods. Speaking to Joy Business after an operation at the Dabala checkpoint, the second in command at the Kwawu border checkpoint, Emmanuel Parker, called for more resources to ensure that all porous borders are checked accordingly.
Were sent out and then added onto it, and then it makes it look as if Kwawu cleared these things. But this is the problem we are having. We need logistics. We need men to come back because the borders are vast and they are porous. And when we close one side, another portion is opened. And before we get to know it's open, there would have been a lot of goods coming through. We do arrest rice, oil, and the like. And we have a number of informations that are, Togo is now decongesting their port. So a lot of vehicles are likely to come in, and we are trying our best. And this is one of the best way to have some of these things under wraps.
Next, Quick Credit has indicated it will no longer undertake house-to-house recovery of its loans. That's according to its founder and board chairman, Richard Ni Amakwe. He says that the on-field loan recovery department of his organization has been dissolved. Amakwe explained during Quick Credit's annual gathering at the conference center in Accra that a decision was made following feedback from stakeholders.
Past year, we received numerous feedback from our customers, the general public, and our regulator on our activities on the field. These feedbacks are a reflection of the experiences and expectations of the people we serve. I am thrilled to announce that we have taken a decision to dissolve the house-to-house recovery department of the company and shall no longer be visiting clients for recovery ever again. Let me repeat this side again. I am saying that we are thrilled to announce that we have taken a decision to dissolve the house-to-house recovery department of the company and shall no longer be visiting clients for recovery ever again.
Excitement at that announcement. You're watching the marketplace. So it's day 9 of January and we have a long way to go before the year ends. Have you planned your finances for the year? Well, if you have not, we have some guidance for you on our Joy Business Advisory series, which begins today. And to start us off is Wendell Fanor, who is partner at KPMG. He joins us in the studio. Happy to see you. Happy New Year to you. Yeah, I know people are going to say we are always talking about financial planning at the start of every year, but I mean, given the circumstances, I think this is a critical subject to treat. We are in an economic situation, and given the economic climate, you have to plan so that you can survive the rest of the year. And so I want us to start off with why this is relevant, financial planning, especially at this time of the year.
Thank you, Daryl. So I'll just use a few statistics to explain this, right? There was a survey done in the US, right? And the outcome of the survey was that, so for people who have financial plans, right, 50% of them are more likely to save more. Then also, for people who keep financial plans or who have financial plans, they are about twice able to save more for retirement.
Oh.
Then for those who have financial plans as well, 83% of them after a year are more confident about their finances. So if you look at these statistics, it goes to support the reason why one needs to have a financial plan. Essentially, that is your strategy. We need a strategy in every situation. So given the current situation that we find ourselves in globally and in Ghana, to navigate that path, you need a direction, right? The new year, people are going to church for directions and all of that. You need a financial direction as well. And that is why you need a financial plan to help you to navigate these turbulent times.
Yeah, I mean, you need some sort of planning, right, going forward. And I like the example that you use, because during getting to the end of the year, we are always going to church for directions for the new year. And so when it comes to your finances, you have to think about that as well. So what are the foundational principles of financial planning?
All right, so there are a number of foundational principles. So I'll outline a few. All right, so one key thing is knowing why financial targets or goals or financial objectives are important, right? Everything you do as far as financial planning is concerned must tie back to your goal, all right? So a key principle or a key goal is understanding financial targets or financial goals or financial objectives. So that is one. 2, you need to understand cash flow. Essentially, it is how money comes in and how money goes out. You need to be able to understand that for yourself. How are you getting in money? How is that amount, or how are those amounts going out? So you need to have a good appreciation of your own cash flow. Then you also need to understand budgeting. A lot of people are not interested in budgeting. And we will cover that because it's a bit difficult to say you are sitting down and you are doing this, but you need to do that if you are really going to have a plan that will help you through these difficult times. And you also need to appreciate time value of money, right? Money today is not the same tomorrow. There's inflation, your value can erode, and other things. So I'll just give these 4 principles, but if you appreciate these principles well, then you will not take financial planning for granted.
Yeah, we've been talking a lot about economic uncertainties.
Sure.
That means things change along the way.
Yeah.
There are economic reforms going on. The economic landscape is changing all the time. So how do individuals adapt with the financial plan to remain resilient during these times?
So essentially, you need to be flexible. things will keep on changing, all right? So first and foremost, have a plan, right, that ties back to your objective or your goals that you set for yourself, and be flexible around that. Maybe just to give a few pointers. Usually, people struggle to say they are creating a budget. I'm sure even you, myself, I'm sure if I ask you, do you have a budget, you say no.
Well, but especially when you go to town to buy something at this price and next time,
sure.
It's difficult to
sure.
get a budget.
So what I think we can do, right? Forgetting about sitting down to say you are detailing, I will spend A, B, C, D. Be conscious, all right? And think about 3 or 4 key buckets, all right, to allocate your money. So let's give an example. Let's say you have 100 CDs. That is an amount you earn, whether weekly or say monthly, all right? Think about it to say, what are the must-dos? There are things that come hot me, whether you have money or not, you must do. So for instance, maybe you have to get to work. You may get an Uber or you have to eat. So the things that you must do, right, those are your fixed cost, all right? So allocate a certain amount out of whatever you receive to these fixed costs, all right? People will give you percentages to say maybe 50% of your whatever you get should be allocated to that or some other percentage. But for me, I always say look at your own personal case. Then number 2, you need to make some savings, all right? Because there is retirement, so long-term retirement. And how many people are working formally? If you are working formally, even if you don't save for retirement, you know there's a SNET contribution, your tier 1, your tier 2, and possibly a tier 3. Okay, so you need to make some allocation for your long-term retirement and some savings that you can fall on to also navigate or to address certain things that may come your way. Maybe you want to better yourselves and the likes of that. And have something for, say, maybe an emergency. So you just create certain key buckets. So your fixed cost is one key bucket. Something for retirement is another key bucket. And another thing could be your savings and other emergencies spend. So if you have this mindset, whatever comes to you, you can immediately allocate. And then I come to your question to say, stay flexible. You keep monitoring how things are happening in the space. Because maybe fuel prices is high, which is impacting, say, your transportation cost. Maybe tomorrow it can come down. If it comes down, it may be possible for you to reduce your spend there and to move it to another bucket. So you need to keep a watch in the market to see what is going on and make the necessary adjustments, because nothing stays the same. Things will keep on changing. So you must stay, know what is happening in the market. And so people need to be listening to you so they know what is happening. So you can take you can take the relevant steps to adapt.
Yeah, so becoming financially resilient during these uncertain times, what role would a strategic investment play, for instance?
Okay, so the key role that strategic investment will play is to say how is that helping you to sustain your future, okay, and how are you going to live? All right, so there are different investments, and I'm not here to market any investment vehicle, but you need to make some investment, all right? And you need to, there are different investment advisors and the rest that are out there, okay, that you can fall on, okay, to take the next or to make the relevant investment that can help you in difficult times, because you are investing, there could be changes tomorrow. And so these strategic investments are supposed to anchor you or to support you in the difficult times. All right, so I would say get advice. And if you diversify, that is one key thing when it comes to investment. Don't keep one portfolio or one investment vehicle. Diversify. If something happens, you know you can fall on. So diversify, seek for help, go to the expert or the professionals to get counsel on how to invest. I know now with all the things that are happening, people may even think, why must I invest? But if you don't invest, inflation, listen, you have 100 cedis today. If you decide to keep it in a bank or you decide to keep it at home, inflation will erode that value. Why not invest and make some return? At least it will return. No,
it's better to save than invest.
so at least if you invest and you make some returns, the returns, even if the returns is not as much as you expect, it mitigates the depreciation of or the reduction in the value you have. All right, so you can't say because things are not right, you will not. And conditions will keep changing. Conditions will not stay permanent. If you are investing, you are investing for the long term. It's not just a short term. All right. So I would say seek help, diversify your portfolio, and you should be fine.
We have 1 more minute. I'm going to squeeze this in. And so based on what we've discussed, are there specific tools, techniques that individuals can employ for effective financial planning?
Sure. So in terms of tools, you can fall on, there are a lot of, so for instance, budgeting is key to financial management. If you go on iStore or Play Store, you can get a number of tools to help you in your budgeting. Another thing is you need to stay automated. So for instance, even in your banking apps and the rest, it gives you a lot of good information. Your mobile monies, it gives you a lot of good information. These are information that you can distill over a period to know how your money is moving in and out. All right, and our good old Excel. These are things that you can also leverage on to track. There are some investment calculators for those of you who are thinking, I want to retire at X time, I want to make this. There are some calculators that can help you to do that. So there are a number of tools out there. You can go online, download some budgeting apps that can help you, and you can get them for free. Use Excel. Use your own banking apps, okay, to even automate things that you do.
All right. Randolph will be here tomorrow to continue with this conversation. It's started on an exciting note. I appreciate it. Randolph, our partner accounting advisory services, KPMG. I appreciate your time. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow and continue this conversation on financial planning. And that's the marketplace. More news on our website, myjoyonline.com/business. My name is Daryl. Kwawu. Thanks for watching.